everyone, welcome back. I have baby Ivy here with me again today because I just can't get enough of her. And she's gonna hang out with me while I take you through today's topic for as long as she can hang. Today's topic is a really important one because it talks about what directly impacts your child's motivation throughout their life. Many of you at home will think praise is a great thing. We should praise kids all the time. In fact, the research shows that praise can often backfire. So today we're gonna talk about some nuggets on how and when to praise effectively. But first, I wanna share with you the research that I'm talking about. Can you hang with me a little bit longer? She's sucking her fingers, so she's good to go. The most important point the research shows is that praise puts the emphasis on the reward. For example, if you're rewarding kids for reading independently, they're focused on getting their reward versus learning that reading is great and fun to do. Also, kids who are praised for sharing really tend to share a lot more often when the adults are around to acknowledge and praise them for sharing, but then when the adults leave, those kids are a lot less likely to share because they're not sharing out of the goodness of their heart, they're sharing because they want the adult to give them the praise. Hold on, Dad's gonna come grab you, huh? I think she's done, hold on. So the research also shows that kids who are told you are so smart actually hinders their desire to try new things, because if they're constantly being told you're so smart, you're so smart, you're so smart, they're afraid that they're gonna fail. They actually pull back from trying to learn new things or tackle new things. Another good example is kids who are praised a lot start to feel they're constantly being evaluated. If they're praised in that moment, they feel like, oh, I'm doing great. And if they're not praised, they think, what am I doing wrong? So they feel like they're constantly being evaluated. That's when you'll hear a lot of young children, preschool age, say, what about my picture? Do you like my picture too? Because they're so used to being evaluated for everything that they do. And finally, overall, the research shows that this excessive praise puts the emphasis on the external, outside of the kids themselves. We want them to have a desire to do things in life because it feels good inside for them, not because of how everyone else around them is responding to them. So I don't know how you guys are feeling at home, but when I first started to hear about this topic and read about it and talk about it and lecture it, I felt really overwhelmed by all of this. I'm thinking, are you serious? We can't say good job and praise our kids? Isn't that what we're supposed to do as parents, is encourage them and make them feel good? But what I want to share with you today is how to praise in an effective way to have the results that you're looking for. We can take the information from the research and use it to help us build our kids' self-esteem and their internal motivation. So let's jump right to it. First, focus on making sure your child knows that you see them. That can start with, I notice or I see. So Abby, I notice you climbing around that chair and trying to figure it out. Or Abby, I see you opening that book and trying to flip those pages. We're just putting words to show our babies, our children, that we see them. They're acknowledged. We notice them. Next, share their excitement. Mirror back to them that you're just as excited as they are. You're matching them with your emotion. Yay, I see that you're clapping, Abby. I see. So the excitement in your voice shows them that you're engaged with them in that experience, and that builds their self-esteem. Versus them clapping because you're like, yay, you're clapping. We want them to have the desire to clap and you to share that experience with them. Number 3, encourage just like a coach. So if your baby's on tummy time, it's like, you can do it, keep going, I know you can do it. Or if they're trying to learn how to flip that page in a book, you can do it, keep trying, I know you've got this. We're really coaching them through it and supporting them through trying those new things. Number 4, point out the emotional results of their behavior. So I like using the word turn taking versus share. The word share just gets thrown around a lot and the babies and kids start to have no idea what you're talking about. So taking turns is more ideal. If you remember, I talked about this in nurturing your baby's empathy. So you can check out that episode to learn more. In terms of praise, what I would recommend doing is if Abby gives a toy to Ivy, I would say, hey Abby, look, that made Ivy feel so happy. You took a turn with the toy and let her play with it. That's really focusing on the emotional impact on another human being versus, good job, you shared. Do you see the difference? There's a lot more depth to focusing on the emotional impact. Also, express your own feelings. This one is huge in my household right now. With having a new baby and 2 older siblings, I am constantly trying to figure out how do I get everybody to work together, and I don't want to just sit there saying, oh, good job with this or good job with that. What you want to do is focus on yourself. So I'll say to my girls, hey girls, we got to be a team here. I really appreciate that you're helping me with Ivy. I understand that you're having to wait your turn. It really helps me out, and I deeply am grateful for that. I'm focusing on how they're impacting me and having them share that experience, and trust me, it's working like a charm. Thank goodness. And finally, the most important nugget, be specific. If you can't remember anything else from today's episode, hold on to this nugget. Instead of doing kind of what we call empty praise, good job for clapping, good job for walking, good job for waving. I mean, we say the words good job all day long. There's no depth to it. Be specific. I can see how hard you worked on that coloring. You used purple and red and green. I love all those colors. Tell me more about it. You want to be specific with your kids. That's the one nugget I want you to focus on for the rest of their lives. It'll make such a big difference in everything they do. I don't know if you can hear baby Ivy in the background. She is definitely calling for mama. So I'm going to wrap it up for today. Post those comments below. I'm so glad to be back. I'll see you guys next week. Bye for now.